Hi folks, welcome to your mwis Friday Planner in association with Ellis Brigham. The recent heatwave will seem a distant memory this weekend as northerly winds are in charge across the British Isles, rather cool temperatures and some rather chilly nights, particularly in the Highlands through this weekend. Fairly cloudy conditions, not actually a great deal happening in the next few days ahead into next week, but the general outlook is a rather mixed one, and as low pressure takes charge again, some further heavy and thundery downpours are in the forecast further ahead. Let's start with a look at temperatures then. This is the forecast minimum temperature for dawn on Sunday morning as cooler air by this stage is extended from the north, and with clearing skies across parts of the Highlands, some glens could well be down well to the lower end of single figures. A touch of grass frost is possible first thing on Sunday morning in some glens, so bear that in mind if you're camping in the Highlands. It'll be a similar story Sunday night into Monday as well. Those are the minimum temperatures at dawn on Monday, again down well into single figures. One or two glens could be a degree or so colder than the values shown here, which are 4 or 5 Celsius. So again, a few spots, touch of grass frost on Monday morning, and rather cool even across England and Wales where skies are clear. Now, the weather system that's responsible for Friday's areas of rain is moving away towards the east, the low pressure that's out over Scandinavia. A fairly weak frontal system drifting down from the north during Saturday with rather cloudy skies for many places. That low cloud may well persist in a rather damp atmosphere across the Lake District, across West Wales as well, shrouding the hills for much of the day. A few patches of rain, one or two showers drifting across northern England eastwards through the daytime. For Scotland, many places largely dry, the odd local shower, best of cloud breaks for the central southern parts of the Highlands, northern areas dragging in a lot of cloud from the north with that general northerly breeze, strongest around coastal fringes in the west. The cloud sheet is a fairly thin layer. It's possible that the very highest tops in the north and northwest Highlands could just poke through or between cloud layers, but that might just be a stretch to genuinely get into inversion conditions. But the highest tops maybe just have that chance. And just looking at those showers for Saturday afternoon, this then just showing the sequence hour by hour, and the greatest risk is going to end up across eastern counties of England. Yes, a few showers across the Pennines, one or two across mid and south Wales as well. Many of them, though, journeying away eastwards as the afternoon goes on, so the worst of any heavier downpours focused away from the mountains. So a local shower, yes, but escaping the worst of any heavier rain across most mountain areas. Just a rather dull and in some places quite murky day with fog across the hills. There will be some cloud breaks though, as I say, best of those typically central parts of the Highlands. Now that weak front will have drifted further southwards into Sunday. It's going to produce some areas of patchy rain and the odd shower across England and Wales, particularly in the morning. One or two zones of showers may still be around for the Peak District in Wales through the afternoon. A little bit brighter further north, still a fair amount of cloud in the sky, but breaks towards many higher summits should develop. Again, central Scotland doing pretty well. Northern mountains may well struggle for some cloud banks being dragged in on a light north-northwesterly breeze. Mostly light winds then for many places through the day, but a rather cool feel to things. And the very highest tops in Scotland, Ben Nevis, the Cairngorm Plateau, really hovering around freezing point early in the morning and only lifting to around 4 or 5 Celsius on those highest tops through the day. So that distinct chilly feel on the high mountains. Fairly light winds take us into the start of next week. A very slack pressure pattern really, not a great deal happening. Dregs of bits of fronts and slight troughs in the atmosphere will just produce some areas of showers in places. The greatest risk of those more across Ireland, but also just a zone from the Pennines down into mid Wales as well through the day. The odd one across central eastern Scotland, and the odd patch of rain could just come into some of the western coastal islands as well. But a fair amount of the Highlands getting away with a dry and fairly bright day. A lot of cloud cover in the sky once again. Some of that persistent on the higher mountains through the day, but decent breaks I would have thought to many summits, and away from any showers the visibility will be very good. Still quite a clear air mass is in place and a rather cool feel to things. A little bit of sunshine, but a lot of cloud still persisting in the sky. Now, low pressure and fronts from the Atlantic are trying to make some progress in from the west on Tuesday. Many places again getting away with a half-decent day, still rather cloudy, still a little bit cool, temperatures nudging up a touch compared to Sunday, Monday. One or two localised patches of rain or showers, still rather cloudy skies, which may again cover some of the higher mountains for periods, but some decent breaks should form. With a tendency to have the wind south-southwesterly, it may be that northern and northeastern Scotland do better than previous days for some higher cloud breaks through the day. The risk of some heavier rain, though, moving into Wales from the southwest as that frontal system starts to push in as time goes on. A bit of uncertainty just how fast that system is approaching, but just watch for things going downhill from the west. By Wednesday, it's likely that that front and general zone of low pressure is drifting further north and eastwards across Britain, so some areas of rain, some low clouds, some murkiness. Temperatures may be a shade higher and the humidity a bit higher, so a murkier sort of atmosphere is likely to be around. Some heavier rain is possible in places around western coastal areas, breaking up a bit the further eastwards that system goes, but one or two heavy showers may spark off through the day. It may be worth noting that the ground conditions in some places is still very dry despite some of the recent rains and thunderstorms. The dry and hot conditions that existed through mid-July and low rainfall totals through the summer as a whole still means that the ground underfoot is still going to be quite dry in places, but as rain gets a bit more frequent now, that will tend to soften up in the next week or so. This is the big picture then as we head onwards through the middle of the week, and just watch what's happening on the western side of this map, coming off Newfoundland, a developing area of low pressure. That's going to be the story, I suspect, for us in the second half of the week. Generally lowering pressure then from the west in midweek, a fairly damp southwesterly air mass that comes in, lifting the temperatures a touch. It's as this low then arrives later in the week that things just become more generally unsettled again. Rain more widespread and frequent, and some heavy thundery showers in places as well, as low pressure parks itself over us and rotates slowly towards the end of the week and probably next weekend as well. So an unsettled outlook by the back end of the week. There could be some strong winds in the forecast for some places again around the flanks of that low, some slow moving downpours within the centre of the area of low pressure. It may well be that the main centre of that low, with time, just drifts a little bit further southwards as we head into next weekend and maybe just beyond. A suggestion of higher pressure existing a little bit further toward the north. It may be that that thundery air and low pressure just pulls a little bit further south across England and things start to improve across northern Britain with time. That is open to some question at this stage, but it just seems as that low eventually just rotates around and around, it will just pull slowly further southwards with time. So suggestions of improvement maybe 10 days down the line, but I think for the time being the outlook through the first week or 10 days of August is looking a rather unsettled one. No real return to any heat and really a struggle to settle down for too long. You can stay up to date with all your local forecasts for the next 3 days every day on the mwis website. That's your planning outlook today in association with Ellis Brigham. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.